outside will be portraying Mr. Thomas Jenkin, who is a health inspector, coming to my factory. And I'm the factory owner, Mr. Dick Carpenter. And Mike is one of my child laborers named Johnny Bishop. So here we start. What do you want, boy?
You told me to report to your office, sir.
Why? What did you do?
I was late this morning, sir. Only 5 minutes. I'm sorry.
You were late? All I ask is you arrive promptly at 3:05 in the a.m. to begin your day. Is this too much to ask, boy?
Well, I was working for 19 hours yesterday and didn't get much sleep. I couldn't wake up.
That's no excuse, boy. You know the rules. 3:05 every morning. No exceptions. Everyone's working as hard as you to get there here on time. See this money here? This is coming out of your paycheck. Now stack those papers instead of your lunch break. Get the door. Some jackass is being persistent.
Good day, sir.
Oh, you must be the new health inspector.
Yes, I am. Just coming to see how the working conditions are in your factory.
Oh, I assure you everything is to the highest standard.
Well, he sure doesn't look to the highest standard. He doesn't look a day over 10.
Nah, it's just a bruise. It happens all the time.
Yeah, well, this definitely isn't a bruise. Looks broken. I don't think you're treating these kids to the highest standard if they have injuries like that. As I was walking in, I saw a couple other kids with injuries like that.
Like I said before, I assure you all my children are treated fine and their health care is to the highest standard.
You think this looks fine?
Quiet, boy. I didn't catch your name, sure. Shall we have a look around the factory?
Name's Jenkins, Tom Jenkins. I'd love to have a look around and see your so-called high standards. Why don't you come along, Johnny?
Why don't you?
These kids look tired. Johnny, does he give you breaks?
Go on.
We get an hour every day.
That's preposterous.
Why are you making my factory look so bad, huh?
I'm just telling the truth.
You know you need this job. This keeps your family alive. Without this money, you and your family would starve. Would you let your family starve?
No.
And by the way, this money too is coming out of your paycheck for today. Keep it up, you won't be making anything this week. Think you can just walk in here and disparage my factory's methods? These kids need me, and this child labor is doing nothing but making money for these poor families and improving this town's economy.
These kids should be in school, not breaking their arms in your factory. Do you really want a future of all uneducated idiots who grew up inhaling dust in a factory? Do you want that for your future?
No.
Preposterous. This job is keeping these kids out of trouble and out of poverty. These kids will be living off the street and won't even make enough money to eat. The real question is, would you want a future of convicts who might not even be alive past the age of 20? Huh? Do you guys want that?
No.
Well, your so-called factory isn't much better than living on the streets with your so-called high standards. I'm betting half your kids die of bronchitis before they're even 16.
The healthcare in my factories are great, and I assure you that everything is to the highest standard.
No,
All my
I've
boys
broken my
will tell you
fingers
the same
5
thing.
times and I haven't got any treatment.
Don't interrupt me. And would you rather have broken fingers or see your mom starve? Huh, boy? I'm the best thing that's ever happened to you and your family. And see this money here? You're not going to make this today either.
Yeah, his mom's gonna starve anyway if you keep taking away money from his minuscule paychecks. He only makes a few pence a day anyway.
Well, that will teach him to treat me with some respect. After all, I'm his boss, and my conditions aren't even bad. I feed them and give them shelter. They should be thanking me.
Your conditions are horrible. And it's not just here either. I was at the mines the other day and they're making 5-year-olds work in the dark tunnels all day.
You're mentioning exaggerated areas. He's exaggerating, people. You don't know all the factories and mines are like this.
Every factory I've been to so far has had cruel child labor like this. We need to stop child labor now. You need to stop child labor now.
It's not necessary. This is not necessary at all. You'd be hurting our country. This is a cheap way to keep our economy going and help out this town. Without these kids working, countless families would starve, and kids would be on the streets.
You have no idea what you're doing. If child labor continues to exist, the treatment of children will get worse and worse. And eventually it will force you to change your ways.
Even if you stop child labor in America, we'll have to outsource child labor from other countries. It's the cheapest way to create a product, and it will keep our economy alive, whether you like it or not, whether they like it or not.
Ultimately, the choice is yours. Is the harsh treatment of children worth cheap labor? I'll leave it up to you.